Yes, just we are studying this sadhana panchakam, 40 steps for transformation, and obviously it results into awakening. What it means by awakening, that I continue to think, speak, and act in peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. Oh, after awakening, should I not feel cold or heat? That comes from the world outside. So there are two parts of it. One is that I will protect myself if there is an extreme cold or extreme hot, but it will not create a pain and suffering in the mind. Two part, pain and suffering. Now apply this in your daily life. Do you remember to practice how to apply that knowledge in daily, how to apply that knowledge in daily life? In the beginning, we have to be regular in the practice. And I told you that Mangalacharan, just 10 minutes, you wake up in the morning, your mind reminds you that, oh, let me do it. Or your mind says, okay, today I will leave it, I'm not feeling good. So it means that mind has mind has not changed yet. You cannot spare even 10 minutes. Understand it. So you see that Mangalacharan, listening and learning, contemplation and practice, and experience. Second is that second challenge is that in any given situation, event, and relationship, you are applying these principles. No, no, I want to restrict, I want to keep this journey within myself just for an hour, and after that, I will not even think of it. Then you are not changing. And if you are not changing, then why you are attending the session? Why you are attending the session? So from there comes the study Eastern wisdom to study myself. And if I study myself, what happens? Just think, what happens when I study myself? Just compare it and think of it, what I'm saying. So you are following the journey. What is going to happen? Intellect grows in wisdom, which is not possible in animal kingdom. There are dog trainers, they can train the god. They can train their dog for you, and the food is available, and you say, stay there. So they are staying, but still the craving for the food continues to be present. Are you getting it? But in our case, our behavior and attitude changes. That very craving dissolves. That very anxiety and the reaction dissolves. That is the meaning that I grow in wisdom. Are you getting it? So if I grow in wisdom, it means my behavior and attitude changes. When my behavior and attitude changes, my experience changes. My experience changes, my personality changes. And when my personality changes, you that will be reflected in the society, in your personal, professional, and social life. People will point you out that you have changed a lot. What happened? What you are doing? For a dog, and okay, I come to your house and you have a pet dog, and oh, stay there. I know it. I take it for granted. It's a very well trained dog. But in our case, we grow in wisdom. Animals do not grow in wisdom. Do you see that point? So when I grow in wisdom, obviously it will be reflected in my personality, in my behavior, in my attitude. And we all are living in the worldly life. So it does not mean that let me wait. Your mind may say that people around me all are crazy. They don't understand. That's a wrong approach. That's a wrong approach. Do you see that point? So that is why I translated the Shanti mantra on Sahana Vavatu, guarding. I don't see that I have a difference with you mentally and emotionally. Oh, let both be protected. Today, in the conversation, in the thought, in the speech, in the action, in our relationship, whether one is a stranger or dear and near to you, I should have a thought, a feeling, and relish. R means the sehna bhunaktu. It captures the essence of and enjoying the spiritual journey. But first, I don't have that. Second, that I'm enjoying the spiritual journey. O means the operate. I use my thought, speech, and action based on the principles of Eastern wisdom so that my intellect should grow in wisdom. I told you. So behavior and attitude changes. And then they will say, oh, what you are learning from where? What is this? Can I join? You are already helping me, but you can, because that will give you and then W, the wisdom. That is what I explained to you, grows. Do you see? That is what I wanted to explain from the Shanti mantra. The W means the wisdom. Now I am aware of it. I think of it. It will happen. You are talking to your honey or you're talking to your friend. You may get upset. But now the frequency of getting upset is minimized, is reduced. You get upset, you go back to your room, you contemplate and reflect, you come out and finished. That anxiety is gone, that reaction is gone. At least that change should I experience in my daily life. If I'm not experiencing, it means I'm simply listening and okay, a little bit of praising this beard guy that you know too much, and that is all. It will not work. In the spiritual journey, and the last word, sink, grows. Did you understand that? That is why I uh, you might be familiar now. Sometime I introduce some principle and then later on I explain it. So that is the meaning of the growth. Can I apply that? Should I think in this way? You start even thinking this way and you will change. Why you are joining the program? Because you want a fundamental change in your life. That is one aspect. And once you apply, and if you belong in this profession, you start also presenting. I'm not saying that if you start teaching the people who are familiar with you, they will they will take they will not take it lightly. So so you present, this is what the Eastern wisdom says, and I'm trying to imbibe the teaching. You don't start teaching in the beginning unless that level of receptivity comes from others. It took almost, I would say, 3 to 5 years for the Buddha that his teachings to the masses were accepted. In the beginning, he was stoned. He was insulted. Look at this. He's talking of the peace. It doesn't have this peace. So if Buddha could face it, I have also to face it. Remember this. So I expect, I can only expect that you should start thinking and changing if it is changing. Look at this, what it means. Let us take these two principles before I go to the third one. Study Eastern wisdom. I sat to study myself. Today's lessons, I studied, I listen it again, I contemplate and reflect, and then I say, that gives me the peace and calmness. So can I stay in the peace and calmness with my near and dear ones in my personal, professional, and social life? Mind says, how can I accept this guy, who is so crazy? Om Sahana Vavatu. I should change myself. Are you getting it? Because that fundamental change is required. Sometimes it takes time, and sometimes it will happen easily. So now this another principle that I applied here is the prarabdha. How to apply that? Prarabdha is, you can also say the destiny. You can also say the past impression, accumulated impression that has given birth to this body with this name in the form, with this parent in this country, and this is how I am growing. If your mind accepts this prarabdha as a theorem, you have to prove it later. That is what we say in mathematics. Suppose the prarabdha destined that I'm going to talk to you today. Plus, I will also be inserted today. It is also destined. For example, what will happen to your mind? Your mind is totally free. Oh, it is destined. It's okay. It's a part of the life. Let me move ahead. Let me move ahead. That is the second principle. So I have to apply that. I also would like to talk to you that subconsciously, habitually, in the modern age, we have accepted another principle which is also like the prarabdha, but which is not delivering me the peace and happiness. Can you recall it? So that is what we are going little deeper. So when we say the prarabdha, yesterday there was a bad news, today is a good news. Today in the morning I was into anxiety. I practiced it, I got rid of the anxiety. It is coming from there. So my journey is smooth. I don't carry forward any past impressions. And my mind is kept totally free. Okay? Now you don't accept it. See the other situation. You don't accept it. You reacted to your honey yesterday. Today in the morning, the mind will remind you. You have not accepted the prarabdha. So what the mind is saying, today I am going to teach him or her a lesson. What he or she thinks. Then how the mind moves, enough is enough. Divorce. What will happen after divorce? I feel lonely. I find another woman in New Jersey. Once I divorced, I felt lonely. Then I said, Who took the divorce? I. What is this I? That is the false I. Are you getting it? We have not accepted problem. Don't accept it. And I don't believe it. Don't believe it. So what is happening? Your mind is moving habitually. You have accepted the pain and the pleasure. You have accepted the likes and dislikes. You have accepted the victory and the defeat. We may be excited, somebody say, oh, you are defeated. No, next time you will win. But I continue to have a scar of my defeat, my pain, my failure, my fear, my frustration. That continues accumulating. Reaction, hesitation, stress while doing the work. That is what you say. Many people say, oh, I have a lot of stress at the work. Leave the work. How can I leave it? Just think. Think and think for a week and tell me. So that is why we say it is an age of anxiety. Because I have accepted, I have taken for granted that this is going to happen. When you accept the prarabdha, everything is gone. Every day you wake up with a positive mind and you are ready to move ahead. That helps your intellect to grow in wisdom easily. It doesn't mean that people don't grow in wisdom at a later stage. So think, the age of anxiety continues with the idea of feeling emotions of struggle, of fear, for failure, and the frustration. In Prarabdha, I failed. Okay, it belongs to it. Okay, let us move it. Let us continue the journey. Are you getting it? So by simply accepting, your mind undergoes a transformation. Think. I'm not saying that you should accept, but I'm just giving you a contrast. Otherwise, your son has said something to you. I cannot tolerate. That idea comes. For Prarabdha, it's okay. He might be a little bit disturbed, so I will talk to him later. I will talk to her later. Finished. Contrast Prarabdha and the current state, the way I want to move the current state. Sometimes we do not accept the insert. So we remember the insert 20 years ago. Oh, this thing happened. And the prarabdha throws into the air instantly. You are ready to grow. You are ready to awake. You accept the circumstances. You say, oh, this is destiny. What is my next step? Let me continue. Let me work. That becomes a karma yoga. Think. So that is why I'm stressing again and again, study Eastern wisdom to study myself. And whilst after studying myself, I have a clear intellectual understanding. Now I have to apply. And that application is the second step. Whether you say karma yoga. So in the karma yoga, sorry, I gave you one aspect. Prarabdha is one aspect. You can just take it as a destiny. Okay, this is destiny. I'm destined to teach you today. Finished. I'm destined to teach today. Think. Destined to have an anxiety, but I have an option to get rid of it. This young guy, yeah, last month, I stressed upon he is doing a private lesson. Yesterday, he called me. He said that I experience, when I look at the entire world, behind it, I experience there is a space that does not change. There is an unchanging space. I said, this is your higher consciousness. So I could see my dad, but behind that, I continue to perceive that space. Everyone has a different experience, so don't take it for granted. And when I see that space, he told, then I don't find any reaction to my parents, which I had. And that is why I moved to another house. He lives nearby. So he wanted to ask that whether this experience is right or wrong. This experience is wonderful. Nature programs the animals, they will continue to do so. We are, we program ourselves by the nature plus our past impression. So what is the secret here? Past impression. Leave it on prarabdha. Let me do my action today. You live in higher awareness. Constantly you live in higher awareness. Don't you think that you start living from a moment to moment? Look at the problem. Oh, that moment is gone. That event is gone. Think. I'm linking it. That is how we develop the four powers of the intellect that I discussed before. If you remember, wonderful. If you don't remember, excellent. Then you will go through it. The power of faith, the power of dispassion, the power of endurance, and the power of discernment. So all these four powers gives you that experience of the space as if behind it there is something which is unchanged. First glimpse of awakening. Think. Now see along with it other concept. The more you contemplate, your mind will become clear. Where is clear? Oh, prarabdha. Because of the prarabdha, I just got this body. Principle, just you apply it in your mind. It need not to be applied outside, it need not to be declared. So your mind is empty now. But now you have a fear of the death. Oh, prarabdha, because of this body was given, and what is created, what takes birth has to leave. Okay, finished. Fear is gone. Fear is gone. But when I repeat it again and again, it will not go away in the very first intellectual thinking. But if you contemplate and reflect, you will see, okay, it is the part of the journey. Divorce. Now I have made a mistake and I have divorced. That's okay. What is that? That is prarabdha. Why should I feel lonely now? Now I have a lot of stress at the work, but why I should feel stress? Are you getting it? Think. It helps you to gradually evolve. But it will only help you to evolve out of the four types of seeker if you belong to the two types of seeker out of the four. But it doesn't mean that all the four types of seeker, it helps. The first type of the seeker, you can say that you are struggler. What is struggler? A lot of stress at the workplace. I don't want to live in my house because my honey bites me. Long list of complaint, blame, and complaint. They are strugglers. Huh? Whether you're honey or whether you're friends or whatever it is, they are strugglers. They are learning. Intellectually, they are sound. They understand the principles, but they are strugglers. What they say, let me solve this problem of relationship, then I will devote myself to the spirituality. It will never happen. Because once you solve one problem, second problem will come. So that very mindset needs to change. I'm just telling you that why we are not able to change. Am I talking of my own principles? No, it is in the Gita. In the Gita, they say there are four types of seekers. First is the struggler. I'm overwhelmed every day. Overwhelmed, obviously, fear, frustration, reaction, anger, anxiety is already there. I try to pacify. I take sleeping pills. That is the struggler. Second group of the second type of the people, they are doing very good or average good, normally known in the modern world as a middle class. They are doing good, but they want more of the world. So their focus remains outside the world. They want more. So these two types of the seekers, it takes a lot of time for them to progress. Think of it. Oh, I'm okay. I'm able to have my food, bread, and shelter, and there is no issue. But still, I want more. My mind is overwhelmed. In the first case, my mind is overwhelmed with solving the problems because my false I is very strong. They suffer directly or indirectly. Third type is known as the seeker. Well, you can say the explorer because they listen and learn, they contemplate and reflect. That is what they are exploring. In today's session, they understand, oh, this is the product. Okay, I've understood it. Let me apply it today. When my mind might have thought a couple of times that my honey, I'm not married to a person the way I expected something different in my honey. Product, accept it, move ahead, grow. Do you see that? So the explorer easily understands. Struggler, or you can say, enterpriser, they want more. It becomes challenging to them to progress. It does not mean that they will not progress. It will take some time. But the third category is seeker. Seeker is an explorer. That is why I created listening and learning, contemplation and reflection, practice and experience. And I daily analyze my my entire life, every day, and I see that which caused me any kind of a stress and anxiety, let me take care of it, contemplate, reflect, and then have a sound sleep. This process will hasten our evolution. And fourth category, they are the knowers. You can say they are the knowers. The first category is struggler. Second category is, you can say, enterpriser. They want more of the world. First is struggling to get at least minimum to feed themselves, to get rid of the problem. But the second is already achieved that in the material world, and they want more of the world. And that is why they want to know the spirituality. They want to know, oh, they join these programs or meditation or mindfulness, but their mindset has yet to change. Third category is the explorer, the real seeker. And the fourth is the knower. Knower, they understand the principle, they have assimilated it, and they are waiting for their transformation because they are constantly changing. In the material world, in the corporate world, you can say they are known as wisdom led leaders. They are known as the wisdom leaders or visionary leaders. Either you say the wisdom, but their focus is again outside. Their focus is not inside. Think. I'm just opening up each and every possible, every way, teachings from the different text that, and the method is again the same. Discernment, dispassion, six treasures, and intense desire for the real self. So think, I'm not pointing you out, but you all are intelligent and wise. So you think yourself which category you belong to and how to transition from a struggler to the enterpriser to the explorer to the knower. And it will help you to move ahead. So close your eyes. Eyes are closed. The very first stage we already understood. The first stage, place, position, and place, position, and posture. You're aware of the space all around your body, position of the body, position of the body, yes, and the posture, being comfortable. I'm not talking in detail about being comfortable, which I used to spend minimum 5 minutes. So you have to check yourself. Do you get easily comfortable? Yes, I get easily comfortable. I can stay in that comfort, and the comfort is defined by what? Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Oh, yes, I know that. Not only you know, you see the intellect knownness, it changes your experience, my friends. Then you are carefree. Any of the example the principle can easily be explained by metaphors. So that what is the metaphor in being carefree? I explained many metaphors. The birds are flying in the sky does not change. That space inside the forehead does not change. The highway and the traffic does not change. The highway, it remains the same. The same way thoughts are coming, feelings are coming. Pay attention to it. My intellectual understanding should give me a higher level of awareness. If it is not giving, then it is the animal mind, struggler. Or the being carefree is also done. And then the flow of the breath. Pick up, just look at the flow of the breath. I explained to you from the Gita that Gita pays too much of attention that you focus on the middle of the eyebrows. So there I'm saying, making it simple, looking at the flow of the breath. And if the flow of the breath is equal to both the nostrils, there is a natural attention at the middle of the eyebrows, what we call the third eye. We need not to stress. Neighbor one, the world outside of. So the word of name, now, word of time, object, and the place or location. These three are main thing in the world. Objects, we are the objects at this moment in the world. There is a specific time you are attending the lesson. You see, time, location, and the objects. That creates an event. That events give rise to pain, pleasure, victory, defeat. It's prarabdha. Instantly, your mind moves there and you are free. Second neighbor is the physical body. Oh, it has come from the prarabdha. I'm not going to create more impression. So body is subjected by the birth and the death. So our prarabdha says, it's a whatever is created means whatever takes birth has to die. So this body will die, yes. You take it casually without inviting any. Third is the breath or the energy. So that energy body is guided by, dictated by, governed by the hunger and the thirst. It is not the physical, it is the energy body. That energy body is known as the pranamaya kosha. Pranamaya kosha is, we have 5 sheaths, those who have studied yoga. And the fourth one is the manomaya kosha, mind. Mind gives you an experience of the duality. Duality, pain, pleasure, victory, defeat, with reference to desire. But why it gives me? Because my intellect is centered with strong likes and dislikes, dictated by the false I, that is my fifth neighbor. I like if I gain something. I dislike if I lose something. Simple. Product. The sixth one is the ignorance. And beyond that, we have the real self. We cannot access that now. So we say, what should we do? Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. The intellect grows in, intellect accepts it easily. If the intellect is not accepting this, it means mind is still dictating the intellect, then connected to either prarabdha or the four types of seekers. I think I'm making everything clear. I try. May there be happiness for all, permanent happiness. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. You contemplate, you start thinking. In meditation, yes, because you are thinking with discernment, with the dispassion intellect. Once you think of it, you contemplate and relate to it, all other thoughts dissolves. I understand. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness in all. It again demands, it requires reflection, contemplation, and reflection in your life. Oh, completeness in myself. I'm complete in myself. Thank God I got an opportunity to learn this principle. If I'm incomplete in myself, my craving should come to an end. Do you see that? Your mind will reflect on this. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. So the stage one is very important. And if you follow the stage one, and you can follow any teaching of any practice of meditation, it is going to help you. Looking inside the forehead, dropping Om Shanti, my friends, and start breathing long, deep, and into the chest. Equal breathing, equal inhalation and exhalation. Can you do it? 3 minutes. Again, we will go for 3 minutes, three times. Let us follow that intensity. Even you don't create an ego that I succeeded in doing it. Oh, it is the prarabdha that will do it. I'm destined to do it. Think in this way. Don't think that, no, I cannot do it. It's a breathing and I have a breathing problem. Here, breathing into long, deep in the hissing, and how to know that you are doing it correctly. When you inhale, you create a big gap between the ribs. And when you exhale, all the ribs join together, means squeezing the rib cage and expanding the rib cage, but with a speed. So it's a long, deep in the hissing breath. It's a different breath, different than the what is known as the fire of breath and breath of fire. We are not doing that. Be very clear. Continue. And stop it. Pay attention to the flow of the breath, how the breath returns to its normal pattern with a change in experience. You are aware. Yeah, you're learning from your experience. You don't take your mind somewhere else into the stress and anxiety. No, it is not required. Second round, you're continuing with Om Shanti. Start with the second round of long and deep hissing breath. Continue, my friends. Long, deep in the hissing breath. So there will definitely be a struggle between my habitual pattern of dealing with the challenges in my life. That is what I explained here that happens in the modern age. And based on the prarabdha, which one you select in your intellect, I can bet you it will change your perception. I'm simply asking you to just experiment. I'm not saying follow it blindly. Your mind is, if I use the word overwhelmed positively, mind is overwhelmed with the prarabdha. Oh, it is because of this I'm doing it. It is because of this I'm doing it. And you're doing it. That is enough. That prarabdha will dissolve the reaction of the mind. Ultimately, any resistance drops and you enter into the joy of doing it. In the beginning, I used a different way. I said if you have a reaction, use your intellect and tell that I have an endurance to do it. So there was a bit of struggle there. But here, there is no struggle. You remember, understand, and it is done. 3 minutes. Progressively, gradually, we will enter into other deeper experiences. We will enrich our experiences. And now stop it, pay attention to the flow of the breath. Om Shanti continues and experience. You may have a vision, color, variety of experiences of in the body. Let it be. Om Shanti continues, body lives in the state of the stillness. And now the third round. Start with the third round. Long, deep, and the hissing breath. We are looking this active engagement of the mind in meditation practice, where it takes us to, and that we will convert again into the passive. That will be our higher journey of meditation. What will happen any point of time, you can return to that state. Continue. You do not stop in between. Now leave this step. Continue with Om Shanti. Pay attention to the flow of the breath. And as you pay attention to the flow of the breath, you start breathing long, deep in the silent breathing. First, belly expands and the ribs. As you inhale, move the mind from the top center of the head to the tailbone, singing mentally Om Shanti. And during exhalation, your singing, mental singing begins at the tailbone and ends at the top of the head with a deep, silent, and slow breath. Now leave this this breath and drop Om Shanti on the 16 segments of fingers. Breath is normal, even though you are dropping Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers outside because your sense organs continues to remain inside. Why? To purify the mind. Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Depending on the state of the mind at this time, you may do it flawlessly. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, or you can do it longer way. It depends on the mind. Om Shanti. Only one segment is covered. So we are not trying to achieve anything in the world outside. You have that sort of awareness. And now, looking inside the cave of your heart, visualize the triangle and think, dropping Om Shanti on each side of a triangle, clockwise and anti-clockwise. When you find the sink, that is the right moment. Mm, pushing the mind deep inside the cave. Mind seemingly stops, you drop Shanti. And all efforts at your end drops. Means the fifth neighbor with the I thought drops. What we normally say is self absorption.
I'm good, thank you. I'm contemplating on what kind of seeker I am per the four kinds, and it changes, right? I mean, I know the goal here is to be the knower, but and to not like let the world and the mind get the best of us. So my meditation was deep, and it was really good. And I need to go back and listen to this one again a few times.
Yes, yes. And you rightly said that these four types of the seekers, there is a lot of permutation and combinations. So I calculated from the mathematics, there are 64 permutations. 64 permutations means that there are 64 types of seekers. And then I left it. I thought that, I'm getting more crazy. It is it is the seeker's understanding that they have to do it. Why should I do it? I can only reflect on it. So if I remember, there are 64 permutations and there are 15 combinations. But then I have to find out their characteristics and their attitude. I said that will be all craziness. So what we have to remember is the third type of the seeker I have to become. I have to leave the first two whenever those thought comes, and I have to go to the third one. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you, sir. My takeaway from the lesson today was just this overwhelming understanding and feeling of completeness.
Yeah.
And I took that into my meditation, and I just felt gratitude, complete, and unlimited potential of following the Eastern wisdom. So thank you.
Yes, yes, beautiful. Rightly said, if we are overwhelmed with the sense of completeness, it burns the past impression. and it reflects the prarabdha. It also helps you to move to the third type of the seeker. Because the sense of completeness, my mind withdraws from the world outside. That's really good. How are you, Jerry?
I'm good. Thank you, sir. It's nice to be back. The meditation, I liked what you said to really living in that third space, or at least being, that's the goal, and then knowing from there. But we do know, if we apply it, then we do know that the peace is within, the love's within, the wisdom's within, and we just have to keep applying it. So everything is changing, and we have the opportunity every day to apply it.
Definitely. Definitely. You see that once we have an awareness that the peace within, love within, obviously it is an indirect approach to the prarabdha. I'm not concerned about what is happening, but let me turn into an expression, thought, feeling, and action of the peace, love, and wisdom. We are going there. Beautiful. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you. I'm good. And I think there will be much more than 16 combinations and 64 permutations.
You see that.
Because there may be different percentage of each each factor. So like 1% struggler and 20% explorer, 35.2% enterpriser, and so on. So there will be indefinite or infinite number of
infinite number.
types, infinite number of types of seekers.
Yes, yes.
As far as my meditation, it was very calm, peaceful, and dark space at the end. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yes, yes. You are right, 100%. Infinite number of seekers. And that is why what happens? People come to me, I am totally committed. Next day they are missing. So you can find out their percentage. So, yes, Dennis is right. I know that Dennis is going to talk about it. Beautiful, yes. That is, so you see that infinite number of seekers. And if I combine what Brandy was saying, it means today I'm one type of a seeker and tomorrow I'm a different kind of a seeker. Even within an individual, changes takes place. Because if I'm the very higher level of an explorer today, I will absorb into the meditation. But if I'm the first type of a seeker, I'll have a lot of challenges. Do you see that? You are learning to become a teacher to yourself. That is how I understand when you share your experiences. I'm revealing it. How are you, Terry?
I had a good experience. Not perfect, but I didn't want to overanalyze, so I just
Yep, that's good.
let go
That's
and
good.
just had the experience, and it was just from beginning to end, joy of doing or non-doing.
Don't leave the practice.
Mhm.
I'm very happy you did not talk about any challenges almost for the last few months, isn't it?
I
That,
didn't know. Really?
that's
Oh,
that
okay.
Very good, Terry. How are you, Christina? We don't hear you. We don't hear you. We lost one Christina from LA. We got another Christina from New Jersey. I think everyone remembers. Again, no? Today you're Prarabdha. No, yeah. Oh, you got it. Yeah. No, we lost it. No worries, Prarabdha. How are you?
Thank you, sir. The mind is calm and I was absorbed in the practice. And the understanding is like that Prarabdha is a way to understand the mind that whatever happened in the past, don't bind yourself to that. Clear your mind with that, and it settles the false ego to work in a positive direction.
Yeah, beautiful. That's another reflection on the prarabdha. That prarabdha means the past impression, accumulated impression, and they reflect into the mind, and accordingly we change our attitude and personality towards people, towards a group, towards an event. Huh?
And so one doubt also like that is my ignorance is also part of the Prarabdha.
Yeah, yeah. Accepting prarabdha will lead you to an awakening very fast. So in that category, I'm ignoring something. It means there is a struggle inside. So prarabdha is not ignoring, not suppressing. Whatever it is. It is. A total acceptance is there. Yesterday, my students, take an example. I can give you, cite an example for each and everyone's profession. Yesterday, my students did not listen to me. That is gone. Today, let me prepare and teach again. So what it takes? Take it easy. Take it easy. So it resolves, lot of, whirlpool of these mental impressions. They keep on going and they keep on reacting. That reaction also accumulates lot of impressions and ultimately it backfires in your life. Can you speak again, Christina? No. You are the second Christina. Anyhow, I tell you, I remember just now. I don't know why I remember Christina. You see past impression. So, okay, no problem. That is all for today. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
Namaste.
you. Namaste.
Thank you.